It's TA with MK. It's TA with MK. Gents and ladies, no time to waste. Don't be afraid, it's time to trade. Let's start your brains like high-speed trains. Storm these games like hurricanes. It's time to save this herd that stays. Put on your cape and learn the phrase. It's TA with MK. It's TA with MK. Hello there. Welcome back to TA with MK. My name is McKay, your slightly grotesque host. And today we're going to talk about setting up TradingView for the very first time. Let's giggity go. Alrighty, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over here to the browser and we're going to type in TradingView.com. It's going to take you to their homepage. Now, keep in mind you are going to need a paid version of TradingView or at least a trial version of a paid version. It's kind of a tongue twister. And in order to get the indicators that we're going to use. I'm going to go ahead and assume that you know how to use the internet and you've set up accounts on other things in the past. So I won't show you how to set up an account, but obviously when you get to the home page, there's going to be options for different paid versions of TradingView. And you can do trial versions, of course, for 30 days, I believe. I would recommend trying out their best one, obviously, since it's free for 30 days anyway. The biggest difference is the amount of indicators and alerts that they'll let you have. So with that out of the way, we're going to go down here where it says search markets here, and we're going to type in BTC/USDT. And then up here on the Binance, I'm going to go ahead and click that. It's going to take us to a TradingView default chart. Now keep in mind, everything on this video is optional. These are just settings that I use that I think make charts visually look decently appealing and easy on the eyes, easy to understand. So over time, you'll end up coming up with your own colors scheme that you prefer. When I go over things like the indicators, over time you also may decide there's other indicators that you like to use more or use less than the ones I use. But these are just a very good default. You're brand new to TradingView, and to be honest with you, they are the ones I started with and are still the ones I use today. So the very first thing I'm going to have you do is just right click somewhere out here in the white empty space, and we're going to go over here to settings, and then make sure you're under appearance, and then up on the background section where it says solid and it's got white next to it, go ahead and click that and either change it to the black, or I prefer the one right next to it that's not quite as dark. It's a little bit easier on my eyes. So click that and then click OK. And now you're finished. Good luck. No, just kidding. All right, so now we're going to go up here on the top left where it says indicators. Go ahead and click that. Now you're going to want to add these in the exact order that I give them. That way they will appear in the correct order and you don't have to adjust that later. So the first one we're going to go ahead and type in is the MACD, M-A-C-D. Now as these pop up, want to make sure the star next to them is clicked. I've been in here before, so they're already clicked, but for you they probably won't be. So you would click that. Make sure that the MACD is the one you're picking. So boom, there you go. Next one we're going to do is the RSI, which will come up as Relative Strength Index. Click the star on that one as well, and then click it. It adds it. And then the next one we're going to do is the Stochastic RSI. So if you just type in STOCH, Stochastic RSI comes up. Click that. And then last, we're going to go ahead and add what's called the VPVR. And that will come up as Volume Profile Visible Range. Go ahead and click on that. And then you can click out here in the empty space. Now we're going to take a 5-second break and stretch out. Pat yourself on the back. You're doing a great job so far. And we're back. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and make some changes to a few of the settings on these indicators. Now the MACD is by default already the way we like it. So we're going to go down to the RSI, and then this little gear will pop up. We're going to go ahead and click that. And then under the color, we want to change it from this purple to yellow. We want to go down here to this RSI based MA. Maybe just change it to white. We'll explain later what that is, but obviously where it's yellow by default, and I like the RSI to be yellow. We don't want them to be the same, so I'll just change it to white for now. And then we're going to go down here to where it says background fill, and we're just going to make it a little bit darker so you can see it. Actually, no, we're not. I lied. We're going to turn it to black. We don't want a background on this one. Go ahead and click out of there somewhere in the empty space. We're going to go down here to the stock RSI next. We're going to click the gear on that one. And this is the one where we're going to go down here to background. We're going to make sure it's on a little bit darker purple color, and then turn it up just a little bit so it's a little darker, maybe like 30%-ish. In fact, I'll just type that in, 30%. We're going to go ahead and click out here in the empty space again somewhere. Next, we're going to go over here to the VPVR, which, let me see, how do you do that one? I think we got to right click on it. Yep, we're going to go ahead and hit settings. And then under inputs, we're going to change row size to 200 and the value area volume to 100. And then go ahead and click OK. Now, it's important to note that you can hide your indicators at any time by putting your mouse out here in this empty space and double clicking. That'll hide the indicators. Double click the empty space again and they will come back. Now, if you want to adjust the size of these indicators or the amount of screen they take up, off to the right side of the indicator, if you put your mouse, click and drag up or down, that can make the indicator bigger, or squeeze it in tighter or extend it out. You can also hover your mouse in between, like for example, price action and the MACD. Your mouse will change and then you can drag this up or down. So say for example you want to make all these take up a little less screen. I can go down here above the stock RSI, click that, drag it down some, go up above the RSI until my mouse changes to that little icon, click, drag down some, go up above the MACD, so on and so forth, click, drag down some, and then you can adjust them within their space by clicking to the right side of them with your mouse and then dragging up or down. Now I'm going to go into these a little more in depth in the follow-up TradingView video to this one, where we go a little more advanced on what these indicators are used for, how to set up some other things in TradingView that are a little bit more advanced, I guess you could say. But for now, double click out in the empty space and let's just get price action. Now price action, just so you know, is you can adjust it vertically and horizontally the same way we were doing the indicators. If you put your mouse down in this space here, you can click and drag left or right, and that's going to compress or decompress price action horizontally. Same thing on the right side, click. This is going to obviously compress and decompress it vertically. Click anywhere to drag price action around. And now, if you're parched, get a drink, meditate for a bit, and we're back. Okay, next we're going to show you how to add a few of these. What do we want to call them? What's the word? What's the word? What's the word? Tools. I promise, English is my first language, but yes. Okay, so this is the toolbar. And you're going to realize over time there's going to be some of these tools that you use more than others, and you may decide to create a different palette of tools versus what I'm going to show you today. But these are the most common ones I use, and I think they're a good starter set, we'll call it. So we're going to start up here with our mouse on the top left where there is a picture of a cross. We're going to click to the right of that. Make sure that you click this star. Now, as you add these to your favorites, as it says, it's going to create a palette out in the middle, which I'll show you after. Well, actually, you can see it right now. It's up here on the top. We're going to drag that down so you can see it as we go. Now, we're going to go down to the next one. We're going to click trend line, put a star next to that. And for now, let's just go with that. Now, we're going to go down one more. This next one, I'm going to put a star next to the fib retracement, the trend-based fib extension, and we'll just go with those two for now. Next one down, we're going to go ahead and go with the rectangle, the ellipse, the path, the curve, and the triangle. I think that's a pretty good start. Next one down, we're going to click next to that T, and we're going to do text. I like call out and arrow marker. And then the next one down, let's not do anything out of that for now. That's a little more advanced. We're going to do the next one after that, and we're going to do the date range and the price range. That should be good. And then the last one, we're just going to ignore for now. So go ahead and click out in the empty space. And now you got yourself a fancy little palette full of tools. Now on the left of it, it brings up a hand. You can click and drag this anywhere that you want to keep it. It's best to keep it out of the way of your actual price action, obviously, so when you go to chart, it's not in the way. So I like to actually put it up here where it's out of the way. So there you go. And lastly, for this beginner setup video, we just want to show you how to save this. Once again, English is not my first word, but I guess we'll call it a profile or chart layout. There you go. So I'm going to click up here where it says unnamed on this little drop down box or drop down arrow, and where it says load chart layout, make a copy, rename, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to click rename, and we're going to name it whatever we want. I'm going to call this bad A chart setup. And we're going to click save. The reason we do that is now this exact chart setup where I have these exact indicators, the VPR, all this is saved under bad A chart setup. But let's just say over time you wanted to create a different layout where maybe you use different indicators, etc. You could click this and go new chart, new chart layout, and it's going to bring you to a default chart. So you can start from scratch, name that something when it's all said and done to whatever. But then if you want to jump back and forth between the two, click the drop down box, go to load chart layout, click the one, in this case, bad A chart setup, and now I'm back to my bad A chart setup. And you did it. That was TradingView first time setup. My name is McKay. This was TA with MK, and we'll catch you next time. It's TA.